Sam, how difficult was it to fight through the lower back injury and just put that behind you to get back to being the player that you wanted this season?
Yeah, not ideal circumstances for sure. Took a little while to kind of get my footing back, but I think the second half of the year I found it again and managed it in the right way and just try to take this summer and really work on my body and make sure it's ready to go for next season.
Yeah. Sam, yeah, hi. Heading into the playoffs, I mean, in terms of the regular season, did you guys feel that you were really beginning to peak at the right time? You were playing so well at the end of the season, and is that the other part of it is the downside? Is that part of what makes what happened so just also so disappointing as well? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, definitely throughout the whole year we played a lot of good basketball, and definitely towards the end of the year we played some really good basketball at the right time. And I think anytime you lose, though, it always stings a little bit. And, given the circumstances, too, with everything that happened and this last week, it sucks. So just try to come back better next year. That's all we can really do. And take this summer, and everybody should try to, work on their game and individually get better, which will help the team.
Sam, how has Al helped influence your career? And obviously, he's going to make a decision this summer on his future. How much do you guys hope that he will come back?
Yeah, I mean, Al is, man, talk about being a professional. He's the best. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had at any single level. What I learned from him the most was just being routine and being efficient with your time. And my first 2 years, I watched him from afar a lot, and I don't even know if he knows this, but I took a lot of mental notes about how he operated on a day-to-day basis. And he's got 5 kids at home. He's got to be really efficient when he's here, but he's always in early, getting his pre-court and getting his rehab in, getting his treatment in, getting his shots up, doing whatever it takes to be prepared on the court, but also knowing that he's got to be a father at home too for 5 kids. So now having a kid, just one, I mean, it's a lot. So you learn a lot from a guy like that who has a lot of experience. So I appreciate him, and obviously we would love to have him back, but I'm sure he's going to take his time and do what's right for him, and whatever he decides, that's the right decision.
Sam, this is the first time that you've been able to feel the feeling of losing after knowing what it feels like to win, in the NBA at least. I'm just curious, from your perspective, how does the sting of that loss and the motivation going into the offseason maybe differ now that you do have that experience of winning compared to what it was maybe earlier in your career?
Yeah, I think the part that stings the most is just there was a lot of what ifs, and especially in this last series, felt like we maybe gave a couple away, and you wish you could just go back and make one more play for the team, or get one more stop, or make one more shot to hope have a different result than what happened. So it's definitely, like you said, it stings, and it adds, I guess, fuel to the fire for next season, and just trying to reload and get better, and try not to have this feeling next year.
Sam, how do you, we already mentioned Al, Luke always had a decision that's free. You guys had a pretty unique situation this year, bringing pretty much the entirety of a title team back now. How do you handle just the uncertainty that, this offseason brings for you guys, and, on top of obviously having Jason's injury too, still there for the future?
Yeah. I don't know the ins and outs of, what all goes into it, but I do know it's rare to bring an entire team back from the previous season outside of one or maybe 2 guys. And but our whole rotation came back, which I know is really rare. So you just never know if you're ever going to play with a certain guy ever again after a season ends, even after you come off a championship. So that's what kind of hurts. And we have a lot of good guys in that locker room, and the thought of not having someone on the team next year, it's hard to wrap your head around it. But there is a lot of uncertainty now, especially with Jason's injury and, him. I don't really know his time to return, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be soon. So, yeah, it makes you wonder for sure. All right. Thanks, guys.